Dear men, women don't find this attractive. Dear men, women don't find this attractive. What? You're telling me that women don't find gay men attractive? Oh no! What will the gay men do? How will they cope without women finding them attractive? Obviously, the person that they're trying to attract. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be returning once again to r/AccidentalAlly, and also the weather is finally cooling down enough for me to kind of start wearing war paint. Hopefully it stays that way, but I live in Britain, so there's no guarantee of that at all. Very quickly before we begin, I just wanted to mention that as always, I will be live over at my Twitch as of 2 hours of this video coming out, so if that is something that interests you, please do go over, because it's always a good time and I love seeing you guys there. I have no idea what I'm going to be streaming this week. Absolutely no idea. Possibly Blender. I streamed Blender last week, so maybe again. Who knows? I certainly don't. Also, YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra single video every single week. That was good words. Good job, Blue. You get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video. Hades is climbing, chirping the whole way up, but I doubt my mic picked that up. Anyway, let's get into the subreddit. As if trans men weren't already angels sent from above. As a trans guy, this means a lot. Thank you. Don't be fake, dude. You're still a damn man or whatever the f you were born as. X, Y, and Z never change at all. Please take an actual biology class. It's the desperate to be correct in their transphobia, but in a way that they don't understand what they're saying, right? They're desperate to be transphobic and desperate to be right. So they say, you're still a man or whatever you were born as, because they don't know. They don't actually know, do they? They got it wrong. The person is a trans man. They are a man. That part's right, but like whatever you were born as, clearly not what they were thinking. She's still a girl. You can still say what you had in mind. Boy, you're like 10. Get off Facebook. I can tell the love for your kid would be conditional. And you look like a 50-year-old man that doesn't know how to keep a marriage because you cheated on your wife 4 times with the same man. I can be on any app I want, and your insults are so funny. You honestly look like you were conditionally loved by your parents. That's why you're like this. LMAO, you are blind. I don't look even close to 50 because I have a baby face. You think you can always tell who's trans, but you just gendered me correctly as a trans man. Ah, the classic, they can always tell. No, they can't. But also, this kid is like, oh, your insults are so funny, and then just drops like the worst insult ever. I don't think they understand the words they are using and what they mean. You're confusing sex for gender. I don't know or care what's in her pants. Oh, you're so touchy because your partner is a male pretending to be a woman. My partner's a female. The biology. She's also a woman. That's her gender. The social construct around that biology. No, he's not. He might have had a nip and tuck, but he's a dude. They can always tell. This is like the reverse of an accidental ally in this case. Accidental enemy, I guess. It's a they can always tell post because this person has a cis woman as their partner and he's like, nope, that's a man. Sure, buddy. You can always tell, right? You can always tell. Sure, man. Sure. Definitely can always tell. Transphobia harms everybody. I've said it many times before, but you shouldn't be transphobic because you're trying to harm someone. But the fact of the matter is, you're harming the people you're not trying to harm. So you're doing a really shit job of it anyway. Like transphobes, you're shit at your job. Plain and simple, you're shit at your job. No such thing as a cis woman. Hell yeah, let's carry on this energy. There is no cis woman. There is no man. There is no trans woman. There is no trans man. There is only man and woman. We don't need these adjectives, okay? We don't need the descriptors. There is man and woman. If you're a woman, you're a woman. That's it. We're bringing that energy. Obviously, stuff in between, that counts too, but they're not men and women. They're not part of this discussion because non-binary people, agender people, not men or women. So, you know, not part of the cis woman, cis man, trans woman, trans man conversation. It's a different conversation. You're all valid. Everybody's valid. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Which one is the woman? Image 1 or image 2? Trick question. Both are. First is Bulgarian athlete, Svetlana Dimitrova. Second is one of the Jenners. Being a man or a woman isn't based on appearance. Nope, the second image is not one of the Jenners. Her name is Valentina Sampaio, who is a trans female model. So, you just admitted that trans women are women. At least we can agree on something. Yeah, they're right. Being a man or a woman isn't based on appearance. I do have to say one thing though, and it's about the original post. I don't agree with using a picture of a cis woman who you deem to be, you know, not attractive, you know, who isn't conventionally attractive, to try and trick transphobes into saying she's a man to get the thing wrong for their post. I don't agree with that because it feels gross to be doing that to someone regardless of who they are. Like, I don't know, that aspect of this, just I feel like it would have made much more sense to have an attractive person from both and be like, who's who, because they're both attractive women and you can't actually tell if you're not primed for it. The best tricks are to have either all trans women or no trans women, because they'll never identify everyone correctly. But, you know, the transphobia is so rooted in misogyny that bringing up someone you don't deem to be as attractive to trick them into saying that she's a man feels like it's feeding into that misogyny, if that makes sense. I understand that the point is to highlight that not every woman looks like, you know, this ideal for a woman that they have, but it still feels like it's feeding into that misogyny, you know? So I don't know how I feel about it, is what I'm trying to say. It is time for a cat break. I noticed by my YouTube analytics that my viewer retention rate drops off pretty consistently every video around the 40 to 50% mark, and in a heavier subject, I thought maybe that's because the subject is so heavy. So I'm going to be introducing a new thing, which is the cat break you see before you. So right now, this is a video of Hades just absolutely going ham with the biscuits last night, and also Artemis making a little appearance to alleviate a little palate cleanser for you, because he's such a baby. He can really put his back into the biscuits sometimes. Like, dude doesn't just make biscuits, he makes bread. So I hope you enjoy this little cat interlude. Well, when people see you with a 5 o'clock shadow, they know you're really a man. AI parses as real better than you. Of course I'm going to have a 5 o'clock shadow. I've been on T for over a year. That's got nothing to do with you being a lazy, talentless wank though. Damn. So from what I gather, this was a conversation about AI, and they decided to turn that into transphobia because they have no talent, so they need to defend their use of AI because they have no talent. And they got their transphobia wrong, which just feeds into the fact that they have no talent. So they're stupid and they're talentless. Wow. If that doesn't sum up transphobes, I don't know what does. A minority of men do menstruate though. Excuse me? What? He's talking about trans that aren't real women. Well, trans men aren't real women. This is true. This is a valid and true point. This is I mean, yeah, that simply put, yeah, trans men aren't women. Trans men can menstruate. It's also worth noting that trans women do get things like period cramps. Obviously, they don't menstruate because they don't have ovaries and there isn't anything to, you know, come out in that regard, but they can still get period cramps, and many do. And different hormone changes and different medications that people can take can actually make it better or worse. It's a really interesting subject to look at. You know, period cramps aren't actually caused by a specific organ you have, because trans women can get period cramps. I find that really interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does that interest you? Maybe it's just me. Trans people don't exist. Have for thousands of years.
What? Any proof of this whatsoever? At Grok.
Yes, historical records showed gender-variant individuals for millennia. Examples: Hijras in India, documented 2,000 years, Galai priests in ancient Rome, eunuchs adopting female roles 200 BCE, and a 4,900-year-old Czech burial of a male skeleton in woman's attire, per archaeological findings. See Wikipedia's transgender history timeline for more. I've talked about this before in videos, but yeah, the history of trans people, damn near every country in history at some point has examples of trans people. It's actually a very modern change that we shun this idea of being trans, and it came very heavily with Christianity. Most countries that didn't see a severe rise in Christianity still have a lot of transgender aspects in their culture. But this, the Old Testament, New Testament, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, anything that came from the Old Testament with New Testament added on as well, is really where this idea of transphobia started to take root. But in countries where that never took root, that actually didn't happen. But it's just transphobes have this certainty, right? This guy's like, what? You have any proof of this? As if he couldn't have spent literally 5 seconds Googling it and found so much proof. He wouldn't have even had to have clicked on an article because every single article's title would have told him that he was wrong. But he had to be so certain, and then added Grok, and even Grok, Elon Musk's AI, was like, nah dude, they existed for a long time. We have a lot of evidence of that, because we do. We have so much evidence. Trans people have existed for longer than recorded human history, and they will continue to exist for long after our current records of human history have rotted and died away. Trans people will always exist, always. Transphobes are the recent addition, and transphobes are the rot in our society.
Does anyone else believe that this so-called female to male trans named Elliot Page, aka, not gonna dead name him, has always been a dude and decided to rebel when they tried to make him female? His old pictures look oddly male to me before his so-called transition. What do y'all think?
I mean, yeah, Elliot Page was always a man. He might not have always realized it, and Hollywood definitely forced him to adopt that feminine role, but he has always been a man. You're right. You are so right. You are totally, utterly right, and you don't even realize why. I find it really funny, by the way, that this is a Transvestigation Facebook post with fucking AI medieval warrior as their profile picture. Oh man, if transphobes couldn't get any more pathetic. If trans people have to announce they're trans before sex, then cis people should do this as well. That's called equity.
I'm not cis. I'm a woman. That is abundantly clear. Nothing needs to be announced. I was born a woman and will die a woman. If they do tests on my remains, I'm still a woman. Hell yeah, keep that energy. You're not cis, you're a woman. No one has to declare who they are. If you're a woman, you're a woman. We carry that energy. Hell yeah, all women are valid. Brilliant. Love it. Thank you so much for being an ally. Maybe not directly, but trans men go into the women's restroom and making them uncomfortable. That's probably why.
Well, if you have gendered bathrooms, then yeah, trans men shouldn't be going into women's restrooms. That's a valid point. It's always so stupid. It's always so stupid. I'm of the opinion that we shouldn't have gendered bathrooms to begin with. In the UK, a lot of public toilets now, if you go to shopping centers and that kind of thing, some still have gendered bathrooms, but so many don't. You just have rooms. You have individual rooms. Anyone can use them. There's one toilet, there's one sink, and a locked door. No one else can go in there while you're in there, and anybody can use them. It helps for cleaning. It helps for preventing sexual assault from anyone, because anyone can assault anyone, and it solves all of the problems. Do this more. Now, these are both old posts, but they're still gold to this day. So there's Elon Musk saying, I'm not cis, you are. And Charlie Kirk saying, I don't know what a cisgender is, but whatever it is, it shouldn't be allowed in front of children. And I'm just so happy for them. Both of these beautiful women coming out as trans. I'm just so happy for them. It's wonderful. That's a really wonderful time. So congratulations, Elon Musk and Charlie Kirk. They've been out for like 3 years now. That's wonderful, isn't it? That's really lovely. That's really lovely, isn't it?
You're a biological man. I'm a biological woman. You'll always be a man, and I'll always be a woman, even if you grammatically call me different.
If you say so. Let's take a wild guess as to what the person that they're messaging actually identifies as. Let's take a wild guess. I'll give you a clue. It's not whatever she said. Like, she's saying that they're a biological man and that they'll always be a man. They're a trans man, so congratulations. They will always be a man. Good job. Good job. It makes me think of just a random little idea I had, you know, the Transvestigation, transphobe, accidental ally Avril Lavigne song, which was he was a girl, she was a boy. Could I be any more obvious? She was a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy. She was a gay. He liked ballet. I feel like I should make this now. Trans men are men. That's the spirit. Hell yeah, they are. Whoa, trans men are men. That's it. That's where I'm going to end the video. Perfect place to end it. Trans men are men. Yes, thank you. They are. I'm glad that we're on the same page. Man, for transphobes, they're very accepting, aren't they? It's really nice. It's really quite nice to see such accepting transphobes. But that is where I'm going to end the video. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. So for those of you that have made it this far into the video, I can generally assume that you enjoy my content and you watch things to the end, right? So I've got a little thing for you. YouTube has added a feature, and I don't know how I feel about it, but it's there and there's nothing I can do about that, which is they have altered the community tab. Can't access it on PC, weirdly, but if you're on your mobile, you go to my channel and you click the community tab button, there is now a wall that you can post to. So if you've made it this far in the video, post something there. It doesn't have to be related to this video. It can be a funny meme. Just make sure that it is, you know, wholesome. Make sure that it's pro-LGBT or it's about animals or something. I won't tolerate any transphobia or homophobia or bigotry of any kind there. But if you've made it this far, go let me know by posting something in there, because I'm curious to see what kind of stuff we'll see there. It's an interesting feature, but yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on the join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support the channel. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. And YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week. That's for the lowest tier of £1 a month. You get it with any of the tiers, but you only have to pay £1 a month to get that, and that's about 25p per video. So if that interests you, please do consider joining. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.